Brat is the new novel by Gabriel Smith. He is a London-based author. He has had work on The Drift, The Moth, and New York Tyrant, and this is his first novel. Gabriel was also mentored by literary icon Giancarlo Di Trapano, founder of Tyrant Books. And while I wasn't a serious reader through the heyday of Tyrant Books, everything that I've gone back and read has been pretty fantastic and definitely laid the groundwork of new books that we are getting now. With Gian passing away in 2021, it seems that his final works have gained a sizable traction. Notably, Fuckboy by Shantor Conroe, which came out on Little Brown in 2022, and this one, Brat, which is out now by Penguin Press. And I just want to bring up the elephant in the room, how this summer, very close to the United States publication of Brat, there was an album by Charlie XCX called Brat. Obviously, you may have heard of this. Besides the two being English, there are no similarities. This one here is a ghost story, and it follows this mid-20s writer named Gabriel, whose father just passed away, and his mother has dementia, so he has been assigned alongside his brother and his wife to clear out the father's house and get it ready to sell. Gabriel doesn't quite get along with his brother or his wife, and he's bringing some baggage with him. His girlfriend just broke up with him. His mom, having dementia, is taking a big toll out of him, especially in a time like this where his father is gone. And he has just received an advance on writing his next book, but he hasn't gotten started yet. And this culminates to a bunch of hallucinations. Gabriel starts shedding skin in a grotesque way and hanging out with this pair of siblings that keep showing up at the most convenient moments and selling him Xanax. He keeps running into works from his parents, a manuscript and a screenplay that change every time he looks at them, or rather makes note of the repetition of how often it's changing. Gabriel lives this unhealthy and self-deprecating life, and all of these factors are adding up for him to need to stay in his father's house as long as possible. And this was a hypnotizing, often straightforward, quick, easy read, but I do sit on the fence with it. I thought it was alright. It's definitely a new book that you could pass on to others, but for me, it just didn't quite hit those high notes. For starters, 320 pages? More like 140 pages. Nothing wrong with that. The presentation here are these short one-page chapters, many of them only about half a page. Gabriel's definitely working with a less is more approach, but sometimes these abrupt staccato sentences leave me wanting more. Sometimes it works out well. A lot of Fuckboy was like that too, these very short sentences and lines of dialogue, but to compare Brat with Fuckboy, this one kind of had a little bit more going on. Like, it was just a more dense piece of work. Brat does have these segments where our author gets to tackle different forms and styles of writing. One that is in the voice of his girlfriend, who writes short stories that get published. Another that is in the voice of his mother, that is writing like a period piece novel. But there's also the screenplay here that takes up like 30% of the book, if not more. And it's just not that good. Like, it takes up so much of this story, and going through those pages were easy to brisk through, but it's just not quite what I'm looking for in a book. I think that if you do plan on reading this, I recommend doing it as quick as possible, maybe all in one night. You could probably finish this book within 2 hours and some change. Otherwise, I don't really know if this one has enough for you to put down and pick back up through multiple days. Gonna get to the point where you kind of know what to expect when you read this book. And while I was interested to see how it was going to end, I appreciated how candid the dialogue felt between the brothers. But everything this book started up, it just kind of ends in a convenient way. This is like a book form of a lo-fi ghost movie off Shudder, though I would probably be able to recommend some movies on Shudder that are similar to this book that I may like a little bit more. There is a Shudder movie that has not come out yet. It's doing the whole festival run called Haze, and it reminded me a lot of this book. I kept thinking visually back on that movie when reading this, and it also reminded me of the novella McGlue by Ottessa Moshfegh, and you could tell on McGlue that on a bigger canvas, that author could potentially pipe out a great novel. So I look forward to whatever Gabriel works on next. It could be something pretty great, but for now, I would give this one a 6.8. Brat was released on June 4th, 2024 by Penguin Press, and it is in bookstores now. Thank you for watching.